Hello viewers, welcome to another edition of the Point Blank Forum. My name is Kizito Osimnovi Ibe, your host. Today we are going to look at the Nollywood industry in the United States of America. It's an industry that is fast growing here in the United States of America. We want to see the challenges the industry is facing and the future of the industry. To help us discuss this issue tonight, I have two gentlemen. On my immediate right is Stanley Acholonu, an NTA trained movie TV director of international repute, a screenwriter, a magazine newspaper director, a multiple award-winning Nollywood film director. Please welcome Stanley Acholonu. Mr. Stanley, welcome to the program. To the extreme right is another gentleman who has been in the film industry here in the United States of America. He's a filmmaker, he's a writer, he's also a dancer. He has carved a niche for himself by every year bringing all his friends to his New Year Eve celebration. He's also an award-winning actor, a veteran actor of stage, TV, and film. Please welcome Sonny Faye Okezi.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome to the program.
Thank you, sir.
So, gentlemen, we want to look at Nollywood industry in the United States of America. First and foremost, Stanley, what is Nollywood?
Nollywood is the acronym for the Nigerian version of Hollywood, and Nollywood is the Nigerian film industry.
Sonny,
Yes.
you started as an actor. How do you see your life as an actor in the United States of America?
Well, I had to make a transition because actually I started in Hollywood so many years ago, decades ago, and I watched the Nollywood industry coming up in the early 90s, and I had great belief that it would survive and be strong like Hollywood, and I see a lot of growth in that industry right now. So, but I'm very proud to be a part of it. I really am.
Okay, Stanley, as a director, I know you have directed so many films. As a director, I'm asking you, what are the challenges you face when directing films here in the United States of America?
Okay, we have basically three problems, basic problems. The first is the conflict of the interest in the artists that act in the United States of America. They have conflict of interest of their primary job that pays their bill, and also their desire to act. So the two conflict of almost all the time we're making movies. And the second one is rehearsal. They do not have time to rehearse because they don't have time to even come for a movie. So they try to balance the two. So you end up having people that are not professional, and at the same time they don't have time for rehearsal, and at the same time they don't have time for their desire. The third one is funding. Funding is one of the basic problems we are having here in the United States of America. It used to be a problem back in Nigeria then, in the early 90s. But they've overcome that because of the banking and the government and the electronic movie sponsors. They invested into it, and so they overcame that. But here in America, that's a big problem. As a director, you want to make a movie, you have to go and start checking who's going to believe in what you are going to do. They invest money and they want to ask you, when am I going to get my money back?
Okay, do you think that the investors are not looking at it as if we are not giving the best compared to what Hollywood, because I don't think Hollywood people will be talking of sponsorship. Do you think the quality of work we give out is the best that will attract such investors?
To start with, the comparison is incomparable. So you can't compare Nollywood and Hollywood. Hollywood have existed for over 100 years, and it's a big making machine. So when you're talking of Nollywood, it's just about 20-something years, and they're still evolving in Nigeria, and still more evolving here in the United States of America.
Okay, Sonny Faye, like what Stanley just mentioned,
Yes.
one can understand that most people in the Nollywood industry here are amateur.
True.
They are not really professionals. What could be done to help these people grow?
Yeah, let me piggyback on what Stanley was saying earlier. The Hollywood has been in existence for a lot longer than Nollywood, of course. But there is something that I've shared with certain other filmmakers, and that's something that will help the industry a lot. In the humble beginnings of Hollywood, a lot of filmmakers came together and co-opted and formed film houses, powerhouses that produced films. So they brought their knowledge, their experience together, and they were able to create good films, and the patience was there. So it would behoove our industry, the Nollywood industry, to form such alliances, because I was talking to a filmmaker the other day. I said, listen, just let me throw some random information out there. Say, for example, I have $10,000 to invest in a movie, and you have $10,000 to invest. Maybe another investor will have $10,000. If we co-op, we have $30,000 to produce a good quality film. And with this, we can take care of our cash. We can take care of better equipment. So that's something that will help our industry grow through cooperation, because the Nollywood industry, as we speak in USA right now, we don't have investors who truly believe or have the patience to wait for the maturity. A lot of them want instant payment, instant gratification. So that's been a problem.
Okay, you have
I think
something
another
to
thing to add to that is in terms of making the industry work out here is the issue of collaboration, and we have started seeing that happen.
Yes.
See, most Nollywood movies now have collaboration, like the Jetta Amata, Black Gold, and EJ. So many of them, they are being cooperated, and they seems to be better than what we've been doing. So if have to start collaborating with bigger Nollywood or outside Nollywood production companies that have better equipment, and then we can infuse the good scripting and good equipment, and then we should be able to start getting our
Okay, let me ask you, Stanley, do we have a common place, these actors like you as a director? We have other directors. Do you people have, like in Nigeria, we have a guild of editors, we have guild of actors, we have, these bring people of the same profession together. Maybe they meet quarterly or they meet once a month to discuss the way forward for the industry. Do you have such a thing here in Nollywood, USA?
Yeah, candidly to say that we've been trying to formulate such a thing, and I don't know, it seems not to be working out to how it should be, like we had several guilds, so but the individual seems to run away with the concepts, and most of the time we don't get it. So that's a problem. Maybe it's a problem of, would I say, black people working together or what? But it's just not working out here.
Okay, we are going to take a break right now. When we come back, we are going to look at what could be done to form this organization, so that all these young actors and actresses will have a place they will call their own. We'll be right back.
Healthy snacks: salted corn, salted green beans, roasted green beans, and coffee corn. Picking nuts: a light quick meal eaten between regular meals. 100% natural snacks. and take life. It's all about life enjoy. Marketed and distributed by Pekinot USA 346-202-5019. Pekinot, available in stores.
Welcome back. This is the Point Blank Forum, a discussion forum where we discuss issues affecting us as Africans in America. Today we are talking about Nollywood industry, and my guests have been Stanley Acholona and Sonifed Okezie. Sonifed, let me start. Before we went on break, we are talking, Stanley mentioned about formation of a body. Let me use that word, a body. Either a body of directors or a body of actors, but it's like it's running into a troubled water. Okay, so what could be done for us to have a body or a platform where these people belong so that they can come together and discuss the way forward?
The way I see it is it's basically an individual commitment. The problem we've had in the past is been one of selfish interest, where one individual wants to spearhead everything or wants to control everything, and the willingness to be a part of a combined unity has been a problem. So what we need to, my suggestion is this, just my 2 cents worth, is that, when we try to form these organizations again, okay, the humility has to be there, the humbleness of heart has to be there, the respect factor has to be there, that we are all on the same playing field, and also we have to bring investors in. We have to scramble to get good investors in, people who will stand behind this commitment, and that will give the entire body that confidence to go forward and not just see each person as a manager. Basically, that's what the problem is.
Let me take it from there. Sure. Do you think that having factions among yourselves is a determining factor why investors are not coming into the industry?
Oh, without a doubt, it is. Without a doubt, because if that unified front is not there, investors don't feel confident.
Do you share the same view?
I don't really agree on that completely, because take a cue from Hollywood. You see there's so many factions, small scale industry, movie companies, so many of them that they're coming together, they do their thing. It's the issue of money. So if you can have 3 different guilds, and if they get their ass together, they should be able to go and raise funds and do what they have to do. So, but back in 2011, when we went for the first NAFCA awards, the conference had to do with this issue of guild formation, and a lot of filmmakers from across the United States of America were at that function, and we couldn't really agree on guild. And people, a lot of people spoke from different parts of the country, and I just discovered that this issue of guild has to do with a lot of people are so selfish, just like it said. Yeah. So they define what they want from their own point, they interpret things to suit them, not for the general of the movie industry.
Mr. Stanley, judging from what you said, like in the Hollywood, we have small set, but when you come to Nollywood here, is it a heady development at this infancy stage to have factions? I think Hollywood have already been established, so any segment that pull out can stand on their own. Absolutely. But if you are trying to form something Nollywood guild here in the United States, is it a good thing that we begin to have factions?
No, it's a two-way traffic. So sometimes when you look at it, it's good. You see, because whenever competition brings the best in people, so you have to understand that. So if we are having different factions, it's like a competitive situation where people have to look at each other and do better than what the other person is doing. This person is making a movie, this another person have to do a better movie like that. So if you have to look at it in a broad spectrum, that it could be good, it could be bad. It's a two-way traffic.
But one thing we need to make effort is at least to get it started.
Right.
At least when we start it, and yes, the competition brings the best. I agree, but let's make effort to. What effort are we really making? Let's leave the selfish interest, because they say sociologically, human self is selfish, so it must be there. Let us digress a little bit. If from the womb of Rachel or so, two people were struggling, Esau and Jacob, inside the womb. So when you come out, definitely you will have that selfishness. But what effort could be made? Somebody have to sacrifice to make sure that this body stands. What do you think?
And if I may jump in, that's where the crust of the problem lies. You know, no one wants to make that sacrifice. Everybody wants to be a boss. Everybody wants to be the top gun. You know, so we're having issues with people, you know, humbling themselves and believing in this one goal. You know, like Stanley said earlier, at the conferences, each person wants to highlight who they are, their personality, rather than, you know, highlight
bringing the best in you.
Bringing the best. You know,
for the good of all.
For the good of all. Thank you. And that's the problem. You know, that selfish interest is not allowing us to. I don't know if it's an innate, you know, problem that we have with each other. You know, but there has to be that respect, that humbleness of heart, that everybody can be on the same platform. Like I said earlier, in Hollywood, you know, they started the same factions, but those factions were able to set aside the differences and make good quality product.
Okay, I wanted to add something quickly. See, when you're talking about guild and the conditions and, you know, obligations that are expected of them, we do not have an enforcing body that if you say this is what, if any producer didn't do this is what's going to happen to the producer. So at the end of the day, there is no force that can enforce that. It's like a producer can get away from the guild and do whatever he wants to do. It's the issue of money.
There's
If
no
you have the
binding,
money,
there's
yes.
no binding.
I don't know how to put it, but there's no force that can.
There's no binding law.
Effective law that can punish.
Something like this happens,
Right.
you're gonna lose your license, or you're gonna lose. Okay, that brings another. Like as a director, are you licensed to direct, or somebody can come up and say I'm a director and begin to direct?
Well, this is where we live in a country that respects individual talents and the best you have. So you cannot restrict somebody from his talents.
But
It behoves on it behoves on the, like the Nollywood or the particular profession
to be professional.
You know, each profession to be able to discipline their own self, or to say, okay, this is what, like you talk about the medical and all those ones, they seem to evolve into a situation where they have that force to punish. Yes, but now because we are running a very free market industry, you know, everybody is a director, everybody is a producer, so you don't have the power to punish somebody or to restrict somebody from practicing what he or she desires to do. So that's a big problem. Even the guild.
Okay, you mentioned something. If everybody comes up to be a director, a producer, do you think we are going to have some good movies? Something, if you're not well talented or trained in that field and you feel you can do it, do you think it's giving the Nollywood a very good impression?
No. Basically, what happens is, you know, each production speaks for itself.
Yes.
If you're not talented enough, it will show. The quality of your work will show. And, you know, at the end of the day, that's a derogatory, you know, thing to you as an individual, as a person. Anybody can stand up and say they're a producer or a director. But of course, as a producer, basically, you secure financing. That's the major part of your work. Now, the director, on the other hand, has a lot to gain or lose.
Yes.
So if you prefer to be a director and you don't have the qualifications, you don't have the talent, you're wasting your time, because it will show in your material, it will show in your production. You know. So, but it's like Stanley said earlier. Let me digress to that. You cannot restrict anyone from practicing their craft or practicing
whatever they
feel like, or giving themselves whatever talent they feel. You know, but at the end of the day, it shows. Your work will speak for itself.
Yeah, but the general view of it is, oh, this is what Africans can produce. This is what Nigerian filmmakers are doing in Nollywood, United States. It's not giving us a good image, which means we need to encourage ourselves. Somebody has to speak up.
Yes.
Someone has to caution. Hey, look, if you know you can't do this, don't do it.
But
You know?
I have to, so before we throw away the kid and the water,
The bathwater.
bathwater. You see, what we've been saying has been a little bit back. Currently, Nollywood has evolved into something.
Yeah, we are
very,
going
very
to the
remarkable. So I don't
Nollywood.
think we should say that it's that bad.
Okay, Stan. Okay, let me ask you, Stanley, quickly. Is there any collaboration between the Nollywood USA and Nollywood Nigeria?
It has always been. It's
Do you
like
receive some support from the professionals and the from Nigeria?
yeah, it's a symbiotic relationship between we and them. You know, like here, everybody, just like in Nigeria, the Nollywood evolved out of the NTA and the theater.
Yeah.
Then Nollywood USA evolved out, from experience from Nollywood Nigeria, and we've been having a lot of interprofessional work. They come in here, we get them, and they come here and enhance our job, and then we pay their bills. And yes, so they come in with their big amount of money, and we keep paying, and they're getting happy, and we're improving our own. So it's like when you're a professional actor came to act with upcoming, so there's a crisscross of character, and the ones here tend to get better. So it's
there's a healthy
development,
mutual understanding between.
And sometimes we are learning from them. It's not always easy, making films.
Let me also go back to what we'll be discussing. Can they equally help us establish this body here in the United States?
Nobody can define who you are or help you. It is our own cross to do that, because we have everything here. We have the best of equipment. You can access it everywhere. You have the best of scene. You have the best of location. We have the actors that are given problem. If we start empowering ourselves or getting sponsorship or funding, then I think they will take a break and not give time. Because sometimes when you look at it, you don't blame them, because this is America. People pay their bill. That's the first thing. Nobody's gonna do anything that's bill paying job comes first. So they be on your set, and if I'm directing a movie and the set says we're gonna start from so time to so shooting time, if that shooting time you gave to an actor, once he reaches there and you didn't finish, you say, excuse me, I'm gonna get back to my job, and that's it. When she or he leaves the set, it has disrupted that shooting. So that's a very big problem.
But that is the truth. It does eventually boil down to money, funding. It really does, because there are very talented people here, talented directors, talented actors, but funding creates a problem, because, like Stanley said, if an actor has a full-time job, it limits how much time they can invest in a production. And they can actually stop a production because they have to go out to work.
When you're talking of funding, you see, are we sourcing this funding from corporate America or Nigerian or African companies here or individuals?
Yeah, in no particular order. The funding could come from different sources. Personally, you can use your own money you saved. You can meet corporate organizations, banks. You can go and get loan from the banks. You can collaborative work. People that have similar interests of production companies.
As a director, have you gone to any bank and they refused to sponsor you? Or to any corporate America?
Yeah, we did.
Western Union?
My executive producer, Eva Banks, she sources her own fund, and also sometimes we approach some banks, and some banks, not Eva Banks.
She can change from Eva Banks to the real financial bank.
So, you see, when they start looking at it, we are yet evolving, and they don't seem to get the collateral. You see, the movie industry is a 50-50 project that could go wrong. So many things can go wrong, and there is no guarantee. Say this is when the feedback is going to come. You can't guarantee that. Nobody does that in the movie industry.
Do you think that the fear of piracy is not what making the investors developing a cold feet?
I don't really think that's a big problem with them, because it can be controlled. You know, now with the technology, you know, that we have now, piracy will always be there. Even in Hollywood, there's piracy. It exists in every function. The thing is, you know, it's not really a big factor. I think what's preventing a lot of our investors are first the youth, the infancy, shall I say, of the Nollywood. It hasn't established itself as a very strong, viable force here in the U.S. In Nigeria, it's very strong.
Yeah.
Very strong.
Yeah.
You know, I've gone to Nigeria today.
Even if you pick up your microphone and sing one song,
it is extremely powerful.
Yes, we dance it here in America.
That's it. but here in the U.S., we're still trying to establish ourselves as a very strong front. So a lot of investors in our community have cold feet because, once again, they expect that instant gratification, instant return. You know, if they invest $1, they want their return tomorrow. They want it next week, next year. You know, so convincing them that this is a labor of love, basically. You know, this is a creative forum that will evolve, that will grow. You know, that's the problem.
Before you go, there is something we have not been seeing in the Nollywood US singers, musicians.
Like what? Like how?
Like all these guys singing in Nigeria, and we're playing their music here. You know, I think the one that was this recent one, Father. You know, you see, you know. So I think that thing is really lacking here in Nollywood, USA. Do we need to? Is that people are not interested in singing, or we have not really fished them out?
Are you talking about having to incorporate them in the movie structure, or is it for them to sing it as singing?
No, incorporate them in the movie structure. At least let them release one album here in the United States that we can create waves.
Okay, you see, the movie industry and the music industry are not, you know, they are on a different track.
But also Nollywood.
Well, Nollywood is centers around movies.
Yes.
And when you're talking about music, you see, the country in the United States here, everything is copyright. You can't. If somebody plays the music, the process of making a music requires a whole lot of people being part of it, and each of them has access to copyright of that. So they will not allow you to have access to that. That's a problem. So that's why movie making here is a very strict and serious business.
Okay, we're gonna take a break right now. When we come back, we're going to look at some of the movies my guests have involved in, like the director, the movies he has directed, and Son of Faith, some of the movies he has been involved. We'll be right back. Don't get me.
Of mine, Nigeria on my mind, born in diversity, blessed beyond compare. Ooh, through these 100 years, our struggles and through our fears, we're strong in our unity. Peace, our destiny. Here we are, standing tall. We're standing tall. We are one. 100 years.
diversities. We are one.
100 years. 100 years. Unity. Nigeria.
Nigeria.
We will stand. Tatted on the mountain, shouted in the valley. Nigeria has come a long, long way. On a journey to our future of brighter and better days. Together we will make it strong and invincible. We are on our way. Oh yeah. One nation. Indivisible. Nigeria is here to stay.
We are standing tall as a nation.
Standing tall through adversity. We are one. 100 years. Nigeria. We will stand. Standing tall. We're still together.
One nation. One country.
Nigeria, we will stand.
Welcome back. This is Point Black Forum. We'll be talking with Sonny Faith Okezie, an actor, filmmaker, a writer, and Stanley Acholonu, a director of international repute, a screenwriter. Sonny Faith,
Yes, sir.
your last movie, The Ndolo and the Senators.
Oh, yeah.
Can you share your experience with us?
Yeah, that's a movie I'm very proud to be a part of. I was actually contacted by the production team, which is it's actually a Cameroonian production, which is something I really appreciate because you have the Camwood, which is Cameroon's version of Nollywood and Hollywood, and then you have Gollywood. You have all these other countries who are also growing strongly in the film industry. So now you see the collaboration, you see the Cameroonian film industry crossing over to the Nigerian and vice versa. So The Senator is a beautiful film. I'm glad to be a part of it because it centered on corruption in Africa. It exposed the corruption in our society and how it affects people. It affects the people. So
among all the films, movies you've been involved, which one could you say this is the best for me?
Oh man, that's kind of difficult to say. It's like having babies and you try to feel which one is your favorite baby. And as a production, I'm so very proud of. It actually allowed me to show my comical side. It's a beautiful production by Eva Banks production called Love and Betrayal. I enjoyed that role so much because I got to be a little comical with it. I had to show my comedic side, it's the content, seduction, lies, deceit, all the greedy stuff. I truly enjoyed it. But I've done so many movies, which I'm very proud of. There is Bloodline Battle, which I finished with Apogee Productions, and there's many other ones.
Okay, I will come back to you.
Sure. Thank you.
Director Stanley Acholonu, you directed so many movies. I know I started with you, your challenges as a director. We still could go back to there because I know to direct human beings to do certain things the way they don't behave is very difficult. I remember when I belonged to the Com Theatre back in Nigeria at times, my director will shout at us and they will go back and sleep somewhere. So can you share your experience with us about directing a movie?
Yeah, actually, I started directing not movie, this TV program. Back in Nigeria, I used to direct different TV programs, children's drama, talk shows. So when I came to the United States, the first movie I directed was My Drug Brother by Papa G. It was a movie that galvanized the first set of movie practitioners here in Houston after Dawn and Olas's production previously. So after cut My Drug Brother, the next one I did was One Life to Live. That was a Davira's movie. So I had some of the practitioners here acting in them. Then after that, I started directing Cut in the Web. That's Eva Bank's production. And from there, it's changed the whole color of movie in Houston. So she ran with the making movies here. Then she had Black Roses. After Black Roses, which was also taken outside the Caribbean, changed to different captions.
Let me cut it. So Eva Banks is a point of departure in the movie
It
industry.
was the time that
She's a powerhouse.
When I started directing her movie, that was when I got into the real thing. You know. So yes, and we had Black Roses, and we have Lost in a Moment. Lost in a Moment was the one that had my signature completely on it, because I screenplayed, shot it, and directed it.
I think one will agree with what you have just said, because you have won so many awards. 2011, you won 2 awards.
Yeah, in 2011.
12, you won an award. 13, all this Nigerian arts, fashion, beauty, Los Angeles, so many awards. Except Canada, you have not won anything in Canada.
2011 was the NAFCA first edition of the NAFCA, the best People's Choice Director. I won that, and in the same year I also won the Best Director in the United States in Nollywood, yeah, in Houston. Also did win. I was given an award of humanitarian excellence about 6 Nollywood filmmakers here in the United States by Osagi on humanitarian ground within the vicinities where they live. Then in 2013, I also was given award for Movie Achievement Award by the Los Angeles Nollywood Film Association. So,
okay, with all these awards and accolades and honors, what has it done to you? It inspired you to go higher, or it's making you to sit the same place you are sitting?
Well, I'm somebody that never gets satisfied with the state of where I am, because I'm aspiring to be so many things as time goes on. So I want to be, to get the best. I'm not yet satisfied.
Which means the award is a challenge.
Yes,
to
it's
you.
just the starting point of
humor.
my ambition, or how I want to be in the industry, how I want to push the industry. Because we are not really doing too good here in the United States of America. So everybody has to push it to the next level, of your own. Because if person does the best thing they can do, so aggregately we'll be doing better. So that was why I said earlier that competition brings the best in people. So you have to look at it as a two-way traffic. People can say, oh, this person is making a movie, another person will start doing their own. If a bounce is shooting, so everybody is trying to shoot like her. So at the end of the day, you see that we are doing better.
I would like to suggest, even if everybody is trying to shoot his or her own movie, let us not use it to criticize the other person or kill the other person. You can still tap. If I'm shooting and you are shooting, I can leave my hand and say, hey, director, you've been here before me. You've been doing this before me. Please, this is where I'm running, having a problem. If we see that happening among the Nollywoods USA, I think sooner or later, there will be a formidable
but I want to chip in something, in as much as what I have said. Like that. It still behoves on some people. Most of the producers will understand when to recognize, the other people. Just like
the
you said.
superiority somewhere.
And now, okay, this is what I can do. This is what I can't do. let me,
Borrow from this
borrow
person.
from someone and be happy with the other person's
Humility, like the
So,
son
yes,
said
yes,
before.
absolutely.
Humility, if we have humility of heart,
Yes.
if where you cannot make it, your brother, your sister can help you.
Yeah, we can
Bring you up.
collaborate.
Yes.
But the problem is that everybody wants to have that credit. The credit is a very, very, it's like a cancer eating it into Nollywood USA. It's making us not to move forward because sometimes we don't have, all of us can come together and make a movie. We tried doing that, it never worked. Even before it starts, everybody is grappling for credit.
For power.
So
for
it doesn't,
credit, yeah.
it has not taken off. We try to do collaborative work within us.
So what does it portend for the Nollywood USA? That is my area of concern. Because let's say, for instance, now Eva Bass Production is doing a good job. Somebody else is doing another one. Eva can go to that person and say, look, I have a production today, but I'm busy. Can you come and help me shoot this? Are you getting me? That is the collaboration we are talking about. But I don't see it happening recent now among the Nollywood.
It's very slow. It's a very slow process.
It may happen.
But we go there.
It may happen.
We are getting this, but very slowly. It's at a crawl pace. It's barely moving. Shall I say jealousy or whatever it is, and once again that power struggle, the desire to be the top dog, it's really crippling our efforts, crippling the growth that we should have. And I'm appealing to all the filmmakers out there. Look, we're all going for the same goal. We're all trying to achieve the same dream. So let's humble ourselves and respect each other's creativity.
Okay,
and craft.
we'll come back to that appeal. In 2014 and 2015, you were voted the best actor in the United States here. How do you feel about the award?
It's an honor. It really is. It's an honor to be recognized for the talent. But I'm not very much hung up on awards. I love what I do. I love the creativity. I have a passion for acting, for that industry, and that's what drives me. The love and passion I have for it. But the awards are awesome. I'm very humbled by those.
They say to whom much is given,
much is expected.
much is expected. So the people who gave you the award expect much from you.
Absolutely.
So okay, I will come back. On Easy Lies the Head that wears the crown. What is your relationship between you and your cast, your actors, and so?
Yeah, it's
a running battle, I know.
It's not really a running battle. It's you see, what I discovered in the course of directing movies is a problem of human behavior and politics. Sometimes when you're on set, there's a lot of people come on set with ego tripping. So many things that they have attitude. I said the work of a director. The basic work of a director is to interpret the script into reality, to interpret a movie script. That is the first basic function of any director before any other. The next functions, you can go down to making sure that keeping actors and so that they will be disciplined to interpret their roles very well. But in dealing with cast, some of them come up with they don't know what we are doing. They can't carry their lines, and sometimes when I look at it, I have to safeguard the script of the producer and the scriptwriter, the integrity of the script. If somebody cannot carry the lines, I will kill the person off the script. I will not hesitate, so to let the person off. And at the same time, I've learned when I started directing, I used to be temperamental. I used to, be impatient with people, and sometimes, which most of them know me. Yeah. So, but now I've started realizing, you have to listen. Everybody has something important to say. You'll be surprised that even the person carrying the line will make a suggestion. You listen to that, and then you make a final decision on that. Again, how will I put it? I've had a good experience.
Okay, forget about the good experience. I want to have the bad experience. Yes. What is the saddest moment of your life as a director?
It was on a set long time ago where an artist was in the movie, and she wanted to hold the production to ransom and refused to come out, trying to reassign and reassert herself to bigger roles and things, and mess up the production. So I said, okay, is that what she wants to do? So I was able to preempt that and get her out of the script, out of the movie, without her compromising the movie.
Oh.
It was so when the work was done, it was done in advance production.
Okay, we are going to take a quick break right now. When we come back, we are going to ask our guests to give us their final words on how to move forward, and especially get this Nollywood body here in the United States started. Don't go away, we'll be right back. Hello viewers, Point Blank is a program targeted towards addressing some social issues affecting Africans in diaspora. Point Blank Forum will cut across the length and breadth of the society, from religion to culture, politics, technology, and social networking. We are in an era that we need to be well informed. This program, Point Blank, will be so informative, educative, enlightening, and entertaining. It will be aired twice every week on Sundays and Wednesdays on BNT channel 15.7 at 4 p.m. Africans, we need to come to the round table to discuss our problems and at the same time profile solutions and the way forward.
A recent study came out that Nigerians are the most credentialed ethnic group in the United States of America. So we do very well in classroom. We do very well in corporate America. Why can't we do very well for ourselves? We have to seek unity of purpose. Let's find a way to work like a group. When you work without unity, you don't go too far.
State, and then the national body will discuss, we have meetings for the betterment of Nigeria and the programs that will benefit Nigerians here in America and also in Nigeria.
Africans, we need to come to the round table to discuss our problems and at the same time profile solutions and the way forward. Don't touch the dial, I promise you it shall be so interesting. My name is Kizito Simnobi Ibe, your president. This is the Point Blank Forum. Having a Stanley Acholon and Stanley Fedokezie as my guests. We'll be talking about Nollywood USA, how we're going to foster unity and promote the industry. Stanley, I know we'll be talking so many things and we need to get something done. What is your last movie? I learned that you are working on a movie, or have you finished? I don't know, I've not seen it. But can you share the experience with us, the movie you're working on now?
I just finished directing a movie. It's an Eva Banks production, Blindfolded. It's one of those collaborative stuff I was talking about. It was done by me and one of the best Nollywood director of all time, Ikechukwu Onyeka. We did that, together. So it's like when you work with people that have experience, the job is bent to the nines, and that's what we're talking about. Yes. Nollywood Nigeria and Nollywood franchise Nollywood USA. Yes. So it was the name is Blindfolded, and it's a very, very powerful story of greed, of avarice, trust. It's a story. It's a family saga, a story of family issues.
Okay, before we go into the film proper, You see, they say when two elephants fight, the grass suffer. We have two directors directing this film. How was the experience?
Yeah, the experience was very, very nice for me because I learned a lot of things. You know, we learned from each other. You know, and he was very, very good. You know, I usually used to hear, oh, he died, but when you work with somebody, you see the resilient, you know, talent he has, and I was able to learn a lot too from what I've done. You know, he said the movie is flawless. You need to see it. It's
So when do we expect the movie to be on market?
The movie is already out now. It should be on the market in 2 weeks' time or so. You can go to any of the African stores and you will get a copy of this blindfolded. You can't miss it. It's a very interesting story, suspense. Until when you start watching the movie, you can't predict how it's gonna end. Anybody that have not watched it and you watch it and you're able to predict how it will end, I'm gonna give you some dollars.
I need a
Some
copy, sir.
Benjamin.
Okay, we have some copies. Okay, sorry, Faith. Yes. We are coming to the end of this program. What do you have to say to your fellow actors and actresses in regard to having a Nollywood fully established here in the United States of America?
We need dedication. We need humility. We need to understand that this is a creative process, and we're all a part of that process. Each person's role matters, from the director to the supporting cast, all make a difference. If we understand that we're all a part of one big body, that nobody's more important than the other, that will make a difference. You know, our investors, we are appealing to them to understand that this is a creative process that takes time, but in the end, it benefits all. Actors, please get yourself better. If you have to take lessons, whatever it takes to be the best you can be, when you come to the set, be ready. Remember that you do matter, you count. You know, that you make a difference. So if we can have everybody understanding that we're all a part of a bigger picture, a bigger, you know, fish, a bigger family, it will make a difference. So once again, I implore the producers, the directors, the people who are willing to invest in these projects to understand that the greater goal is bigger than the immediate expectations. Makes a difference.
Thank you. Stanley, you still want to talk more about the film? Something before you give us your final words?
Well, what I'm wanting to say is that this is something people should go out there and get and watch it now. Well, that's what I want to say now. Then,
so, what do you have to tell the audience, especially your fellow directors? What's the way forward? What's the future of Nollywood USA?
Well, I would say the first thing I'm going to say is that they should realize that the sky is so big for everybody to contain everybody in this industry. And for the actors, you know, you have to be serious. If you know you don't have the time and you just have to follow the click lights and the fame and everything, then this is not the business where you should be. You should go and do another thing. For directors, we have to have training and retraining and, you know, upgrade ourselves so that we can catch up with the industry, you know, what it takes to be on top of the list. And again, what I wanted to say is the piracy. You know, I wanted to say that earlier before, but I can round up with it. Piracy seems to be a very dangerous thing. It became more dangerous now that it's going in the same direction with technology.
Yeah.
So that's so dangerous that at the click of a distance, your movie will go online and then everything is done. So it's a problem. It's a quagmire. And I would say for our movie industry practitioners here in the United States, we need to collaborate, work together, help one another, and then we will move forward. And we also collaborate with the foreign companies that are into filmmaking. That's the only way we can have our movies, being accepted because of the international, because that will improve the sound, the picture quality, and the format we are shooting.
Yes.
So that's all I want to say.
Okay. And gentlemen, I want to thank you for coming to the show. I really appreciate you. Director Stanley, thank you for coming.
You're welcome.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you. It's been an honor and a pleasure.
Viewers, here we draw the curtain for today, but let me tell you, this is where we are. If you have not heard it, you are hearing it today. The Blindfolded Eva Banks production is the latest movie in town. Go to the African stores, go to any stores, Walmart, HEB, you're gonna see a copy. Grab your copy there and watch it. For the next 3 months, you'll be busy with this film and you will never regret it. Until next time, we are going to have another program on the Point Blank Forum. This is your friend, your brother, Kizito Osimnobi Ibe. Say, God bless you and thanks for watching.